What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the price analysis for Bitcoin, and if you haven't done so, make sure to go like, share, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can stay updated on Bitcoin's latest. And so without further ado, let's jump into the chart. Sorry, my chart's looking a little bit too messy. I did make a prediction that it was going to break below that rising level of support in this rising wedge formation that we previously identified with a small fake out. And so we did crack below, and then it tested that rising level of support, and then it actually crashed below. And then if we looked at a secondary line of support, we actually saw that was broken as well. It did rise up, not quite to the level as I have, exaggerated, expected, but then it then rise up with a bit of a correction, and then it started to dip again. Now, having said that, because of that reversal there, I would suggest that now we're looking at a pretty long term, not long term, but like medium to long term bearish direction. Try to just stay focused outside of this. I'll just move this for now. So just move this out the way. But arguably, we may be just forming a very large bear flag like this. And this bear flag is simply going to play itself out. And of course, if we break below this, then we're going down. But the thing is, I think it's safe to reasonably assume that we're in a pretty well established bear move. And so if we actually look at from the top to the bottom of this, now we have to have an outlook where now the price action would actually correct a little bit from this very deep, this long short, big short that we've just had. This could be the opposite of a short squeeze, which is a long squeeze, like a mini version of that happening right now. I'm going to get rid of these predictions here. Now, the reason why I expected the price action to go as far as that was because of these levels of indecision forming right here and here. Now, it's a bit small, so probably need to zoom in a little bit. So these levels here, because once it broke below that, really there wasn't any further levels of support or any kind of resistance that became a support anymore. So I would have thought it would have come to this level here, and there was a small level of indecision if we go to smaller time frames, but then actually cracked right below. And you know what, would you look at that, bouncing just right at the bottom of these lines of support right here. So definitely quite exciting. And so it actually dipped well below into the about 15 in the RSI on the 4-hourly chart. And not last time it actually gone that deep was actually the very the dip that we've actually experienced from the sideways correction that we've been facing. Now, that was our initial dip, though. That doesn't mean the dip was over. So the next dip that has occurred was this dip here again. So even though the RSI has actually risen, okay, so the price action has actually fallen. The bottoms were lower. So having said that, that actually probably became then a signal for a bullish movement. But as you can see, we have had a small correction, okay, small correction from that dip in the RSI to this much level here. Now, if the momentum to actually go bearish was actually strong, then that correction isn't going to be as strong. But we did see that come up to about 38 in the RSI. So what I would be looking at is how far, that correction is going to have to take a certain place. Now, I have drawn a box here, and this here is another level of indecision. And I have a funny feeling that I think the correction will go into that region there. And that's why I had this Fibonacci sequence drawn here like so. So if we actually look at this, Fibonacci sequence here, if we look at this from the top of the correction, the dip, which is here, I'm gonna deem the beginning of that dip from up here. This box here is actually within the 0.5 and 0.618, this pocket right here. So I do even contest that the price action can come up to this level, and I think at that level it would be reasonably high enough to then see another reason for a short. Now, of course, I could be wrong with that one, of course, and we might just be following a bit of a trend line as we see it here, this trend line right over here. And so we are in a correction here, but I would be putting in some short orders as it moves up, but I'll just be keeping an eye on this one. But I think the outlook is definitely a bearish outlook for this for Bitcoin. And another thing worth noting is, I'm just gonna rub some of these out here, get rid of some of these things. Okay. Another thing worth noting is that this is kind of like a giant bear flag as well. So, like I said previously, this bottom line of support, if that was the bottom end of the bear flag, and that was the top end of the flag, then this stick here, which was that initial dip, may continue on from there, which then brings the price action of Bitcoin all the way to $13,000, guys. So that is more than reasonably possible, in my conjecture and thinking. And so that it will be something that I'll be getting ready for, and I think that's part of the reason why we're having a little bit of indecision here, and the RSI very, very deeply oversold. Now, put it this way, guys, look at the MACD. MACD has spread open the other way. So if we look at the 1-day chart as well, MACD is definitely spreading wide open here, with the blue line crossing over the red. So this is a dead cross, of course, and it's not even in the I guess in this oversold position. It's on an overbought position still. So I think that's setting up to a very, very big move downwards as well. Okay, like I said, around the 13,000s. And if we look at the 4-hour charts again, it is below the zero center, but we have seen MACDs go as deep as negative 1800, and so I think it's about time that we started our journey down there. With the stagflation coming in, I just don't see any positive outlook for Bitcoin. So I would suggest that that your positions remain in a short direction is what I would consider doing. And of course, I could be wrong. If some sort of a shooting occurs in the other direction and it goes bang like this, and it does it in a very violent way, then I'll suggest a long switching technique to then lock in those profits when the move goes out the other way. Guys, the market is volatile. Yesterday we have seen a dip in Bitcoin alone by 7%. That's not a small dip, guys, in one day. I mean, you don't see that in stocks. And I know a lot of you guys are leveraged and you're trading using BitGet, because that's how you guys support the channel. And other ways you can do that, of course, is by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel, of course. But with that, just keep your stop losses nice and tight, and just be more patient in your trading strategies, guys. I do sense that even if the RSI corrects a little bit and dips down, not even to a level as low as this, I genuinely think there will be another dip coming along. Of course, I could be wrong, but that's just simple technical analysis senses coming here. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments below. That increases my engagement. Thank you so much for doing that. And of course, that's been my video for today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Much love. Stay safe out there and try to make money, not lose money, because some people seem like they're better at losing money than they're making money. You don't want that. Bye.